Holy crap, it's a motorcycle. Hey everyone, it's Adam here. GS, I guess this is just winter maintenance, and I don't usually set out to do winter maintenance, but hey, I got a new motorcycle, by the way. I thought I'd show you this. Well, it's actually not mine, it's my daughter's. I got her a 3-wheeler S1000RR at the consignment shop for $15. It does work, by the way. It's when she can use it in a couple of years. But yeah, the S1000 is sitting next to the GS. Yeah, pretty cool though. It's supposedly going 85 miles an hour right now, and yeah, it does work. Pretty sweet. It's it's a little battery powered thing. Okay, I'm just doing a quick update video. There won't be another one. I mean, there's not going to be like a whole series. I just want to kind of talk a bit about what's going on with the GS. I do have my vanity plate coming from the state of North Carolina, which will be here any day now. I've been waiting for that for a while. Basically, I had a issue with my title. It wasn't filled out correctly by the state of New Hampshire, so I had to go to New Hampshire, and I did this August of 2023, where this plate was expiring on the bike. Went to the DMV in North Carolina, or license plate agency. They rejected the title. I had to get a new title from New Hampshire. They said, we need proof that the bike is paid off to issue you a replacement title, even though it was paid off 2 years ago. And I had to email or write a letter to BMW Financial Services, get them to send me a letter of payoff, then ask New Hampshire to send me the replacement title, and then finally have North Carolina issue the plate, and then it takes 4 to 6 weeks for the plate to come in. So basically 1 month at every one of those steps I just listed, and now it's almost December, and I'm finally about to get my license plate for this GS. I haven't ridden it in a couple months because I haven't had a license plate on it, or a valid license plate. And I need to take those New Hampshire inspection stickers off too. Here's what's going on with the GS. First of all, after I just dropped it at 0 speed, just laid it over like I always have, I ended up dinging up my Jesse racks, which we powder coated 2 Decembers ago. And so you can kind of see it here. You can see how they are. It's hard to see, but basically see how that's coming inward. It's not coming straight up and down. It's inward a little bit. And that side obviously is pushed out more than it should. So they basically need to be pushed back. I had a discussion with the Jesse Luggage guys about it, and we kind of went back and forth on what to do about this issue. Do I just get the new piece here that bends this straight piece back? Do I get this piece? Do I get the whole rack? A new rack's $550, and so I was going to ask them if I could buy the rack for $550, assemble parts, and then send back the parts I didn't need. That went back and forth for a while, and I said, well, let me see if I can repair it first. Took it off the bike. I couldn't bend it back. And so when I talked to them last week, they reminded me that they had they were coming out with a product that is the Challenger boxes, but the Challenger boxes have been redesigned to support the OEM GS Adventure rack. I thought that is super cool. I plan on, I'm likely to get an R1200GS Adventure next winter instead of a new R1300GSA. I know most of you would prefer I get a new 1300 GSA, but I don't think I want to do that for a few years. I'm going to stick with what's most affordable for me, which is to get the very last 1250 GSA, which will come with the OEM GSA racks that the new Challenger boxes work with. So what they're doing is they're sending me the new Challengers powder-coated red that are compatible with the GSA rack, which I have in one of those boxes over there. And I'm eventually going to pay for them, but I'm just getting them to see if they fit and how they look, because it's the first box they're actually making. And so if you guys, like the video and buy a few of them, maybe I can convince them to give me 20% off or something. But that's coming. That'll be in a few weeks, and I'll do an overview of that when it comes in. Second issue is these are Touratech shocks on the front and rear. They're ESA compatible for the 2017 GS Adventure. I put them on the 2018 GS Adventure, and I've only had, so far 2 issues in the past 5 years. The first one is that I had a spring strut adjust faulty error here, 4 months after installing them on the 2018 GSA, which is what this bike is. And what ended up happening was the tractive module that goes under here that plugs into these 3 plugs that you can see here was the culprit, and they replaced that under warranty, and it's been fine ever since. Now, fast forward to June of 2023, I was loading this bike up to go to New Hampshire, and I got a similar message, but it wasn't the big whole TFT takeover screen. It was only when I tried to go from auto to min or max, and I would get an adjustment faulty error on the bottom of the TFT here. Clearing the codes and doing an ESA cycle with the GS911 dongle would fix the issue for a couple of miles, then it would come right back. And so, unfortunately, all of New Hampshire and a couple of trips I did on the GSA this summer and fall, anytime I'd load up for a camping trip, like my New England trip when I went to Rhode Island, I went down to Cape Cod. You saw those videos, a couple of Vermont camping trips. I was doing it without any preload at all. Basically, the preload was the minimum setting. It wouldn't go up or down and adjust automatically with the weight because that function was dead. And it definitely feels differently, by the way. It feels a little coming out of corners. It feels like you're not putting power down as well when you have all the boxes loaded up, as well as a rider and a duffel bag, all that stuff on there. It's like an extra, maybe 50, 75 pounds. And you feel the difference when the preload is not doing its job. And then obviously, because it's ESA, I couldn't manually tweak it up. So I finally got around to troubleshooting this. I bought for $230 because my warranty is up on these shocks from Ted Porter's Beamer shop, a replacement tractive module, and got it in, plugged it up, did clear the codes. Same issue, didn't work. So I spoke to Ted Porter on the phone for a little bit, and he had told me that I just got to mail the rear shock into him. For him to troubleshoot it. And I've done this enough times now that I know, you just unhook the subframe right here. I'll remove the Jesse luggage because that's coming off anyway because I'm putting the GSA racks on. You got to remove the rear silencer. And then you have a lower bolt right there and an upper bolt right there. Yank it out. Also have to remove that external reservoir that's mounted to the subframe, the oil reservoir for the ESA motor that comes out. Mail all that to him with the old and the new tractive ESA modules that are in this little bubble up there. He'll put it on the bench. He'll troubleshoot it, figure out. Ted also informed me that, there are new ways of tractive technology that are out or coming out for the 1250 and 1200 GSA. And so I told him, if I asked him if the shock is bad or if the preload motor is bad. And remember, the rear ESA Touratech shock is about $2,500. That's everything. That's the shock, the damp, the preload motor, and then the module. I said, what's it going to cost if you have to replace the preloader, for example, or something else that's related to preload? And he said it's about $800. And so, when that price comes down the line of invoicing me, I told him, let's think creatively. If this is going to be moving over to a 1250 GSA next year, maybe I put, and I still have it, the OEM rear shock back on, which is my plan all along. When I go to sell this bike, I'm going to put back on the stock suspension and yank some of the Clearwater lights off, yank the risers off, yank the hand grips off, the windscreen, anything else that goes over to the 1250 will get yanked off. And then I will put the OEM stuff back on and sell it like it is. And so, maybe the solution for the next 6 to 12 months when I'm waiting for a 1250 GSA to be cheap enough, i.e. when the 1300 GSAs are on show floors next November, I'll just, sell the this rear shock in a damaged state for $500 or something. Someone else can be their problem. And instead I, buy whatever the newest generation stuff is from Ted next fall. That's where we are right now. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet, but I am tonight, it's Friday, yanking the rear shock out of this GSA and putting it in a box and emailing it over to Ted, which sucks. It is what it is. Other GSA stuff, I'm about, 1,000 or so miles before my next oil change. Don't need to do valves, don't need to do airbox, don't need to do final drive. And so I'll probably keep it as is until January after the Northeast Florida winter rally, and I will write it down there and then get it back and do the oil change and stuff. That's GSA update. Hey, sub 10-minute video. Isn't that awesome? Hi, everyone. There's a bunch of other stuff going on. A bunch. it needs to be its own video, ideally in the vlog format. Why is the R18 still here? It will be sold very soon. I have over 100 people interested in buying it, and every time I got serious about someone coming to buy it, they would back out on the concept of there not being a title in hand. And I've been waiting for BMW to send me the title for 2 months now. They say it's en route, for whatever that means. And so my plan when the title gets in, and by the way, you know, I think a lot of people would say, well, of course, why would I buy a thing without a title? I've done this a lot of times, actually. Usually what you do, what I always do, is I will have them basically write 2 checks. One to me for the sale amount, and one to BMW Financial Services for the lien amount. And then BMW Financial Services will title it in that person's name and mail the title to them directly. And because they're paying it off and they're getting a receipt of the payoff or the wire transfer mailed to them, it's all above board, basically. If for some reason the title comes to me, then you guys know me. I sign it over to them, mail it over, and they're good. I've done this 5 or 6 times with cars and bikes that have a lien on them. Never had an issue. For some reason, people are super sketchy about the R18 being both super cheap and having no title in hand to sign over to them. That's fine. So when the title comes in the next 1 to 4 weeks, I'm going to get it signed and email 100 people and say, sale price is still the same. If you're ready to pick it up, first person that can get here with a trailer or with cash can get the bike and take it. So that's where it is with the R18. It's in great shape. I haven't ridden it a single mile since I listed it for sale, but it's just sitting here waiting for BMW to send me the title to it. That's where I am. Really hope the title is not at my house in New Hampshire, because that would be unfortunate. But I'm there for Christmas. I'll get it when I go there for Christmas. Yeah, that's where the R18 is still here. 701 is still over there doing its thing. Heather's bike is up in New Hampshire, and GSA is about to be base. I'm assuming that's going to take a week to get this shock over to Ted Porter's Beamer shop, because they're in California. It's going to take them a week or 2 to diagnose it, a week to get back to me. And so I should have this back on the road by Christmas, hopefully for like $500 maximum, and I get to put the Touratech shock back on the rear. We'll see. But I have in this bin over here a 0-mile BMW ESA shock that came on the bike that I can put on if I absolutely need to. Whew, that's the whole update. So as far as other modifications, nothing else. I do need to take stock of what's on here that can direct fit over to a 1250 GSA. I would love to get that 2024 blue color GSA for under 20 grand. People are probably laughing right now, like, you're high. I got this bike for $20,300 out the door. Everything included, because the 1250 GSA was in showrooms. This was around for an extra month or 2 after 1250 GSAs were showing up. So it's out. It's possible. Now we have inflation, whatever. But I'm hoping that like next December, there's going to be a load of 1300 GSAs on the showroom floor, and BMW is going to have a bunch of, dealer deals to move GSAs, in which case I'll grab one of those. Now, the only thing that's going to change that situation or scenario, I've told myself this, if the 1300 GSA comes with the 11-inch TFT, I'm probably going to get a 1300 GSA. If it comes with the current TFT, I'm not going to do it. And that seems ridiculously stupid, but that's just where I am. Really the driving force here is financial. I want to outfit a GSA with my stuff, Alt-Rider, Jesse Luggage, Clearwater, Moscow stuff, and also Woody Wheels Works to, retrue the wheels and lace them up with heavier lacing. I want all that done to it, as well as suspension. So we're looking at like minimum 12 grand in modifications. I can save a ton of money initially, like $6,000 to $8,000. I think the GSA is going to be a $30,000 motorcycle if you get with premium, comfort, touring, lighting package, the whole bazang. It's going to be a $30,000 bike. If I could get a $20,000 1250 GSA and move a third of my stuff over to the new bike that'll directly fit up to it without any modifications, I basically have saved myself like $11,000 or $12,000 sticker price and modifications savings. And so I just had a baby. That kind of stuff is real money. And I just think, man, like 1250 GSA is a great motorcycle. I'm going to ride a 1300 in the next few months. And so maybe my tune will change. I actually don't want a lot of speed. I don't really care about the weight savings. And the stuff like moving away from the steel tubular frame scares me a little bit. And so, 1250 GSA, it's a proven platform, it's a proven motor. All the kinks are worked out, all the recall stuff with brakes and everything else, and the final drive, that's all done. It's going to be a great bike that lasts 5 to 8 more years. Great healthy aftermarket with lots of deals and discounts and used stuff on eBay and Adventure Rider I can buy. And the 1300 GSA is going to be freaking expensive. And I don't think it's going to have more range than the GSA 1250. And I don't think it's going to have, a lot of aftermarket stuff initially. So I just got to speak with my heart here. Even though I know you guys would love to see me outfit a 1300 GSA with all the bells and whistles, I can't afford to do that anymore. I just don't have the spare cash right now. The days of putting 20 grand into a motorcycle kind of dwindling. And I'm still gainfully employed. I just don't have 20 grand to put into a motorcycle right now. So that's it. That's the story. Went super long, but I know you haven't seen me in a while, so I thought I would give you an update on how things are going. And let's get that rear shock taken out of this bike and get the jet ski rack taken off. And I also take inventory of what bolts I have in my 1200 GSA rack box, because if I don't have all the bolts, I have to order a few tonight. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Ride safe.